Hello, peeps. How you doing? Staying safe in the storms, I hope. If it's any consolation, I got a bit of it here last night, and I think there's some more due today. Where am I? I came through the Black Forest yesterday, and I am just southwest of Stuttgart, heading for Frankfurt. Why am I heading for Frankfurt? Well, Fire Angel put a comment about my journey on her Facebook, and somebody come up and said, I was down in the Bulkens at the time, and somebody come up and said, can you give me a lift back? So we got into a conversation. She moved out to Cyprus 3, 4, 5 years ago. Been living out there and now wants to come back. She's brought a van, which is turning into a bit of a drama. And she couldn't get a flight direct back to the UK. She's got 2 dogs and a cat. The cat's gone to a new home, which bring the dogs back. Not only the flight time to the UK, British Airways then cancelled all their flights. And then the pet handling time at Heathrow is about 4 hours. So it all got a bit too much for that journey. So I said I can pick you up in the Bulkens. We talked about Sofia, but then we'd have to do a couple of weeks to get back. Camping and stuff. Because I just couldn't do a long haul like that. In a rush. No intention of doing that kind of thing. Kind of. And then we talked about flying into Italy, flying into Greece. And then it turned out the best way was flying to Germany. So first it was going to be Berlin, not a problem. 2 days, 3 days back from Berlin to the UK. Then it was going to be Munich. Then they cancelled the flight to Munich for pets, so it's now Frankfurt. So I am picking her up at Frankfurt Airport Thursday afternoon, the one you call Thursday, I think. I'll check, make sure I'm there on the right day. And then hightailing it back to the UK. About 3 hours to Luxembourg, get fueled up in Luxembourg, it's cheaper fuel there. That'll be country 20. And then up to Calais, 3 hours, maybe 4, then get the tunnel and be back in the UK, and then do a couple of 3-hour sprints up to Yorkshire. Got to take it to Wakefield, I think, is the current plan. It has changed. They've all changed. And so I'll just do 3 hours driving, couple of hours resting, 3 hours driving. My little brother asked me to get a picture for him in Bashdoin, which is not off route, just a little zig. And it's be a good rest place, good stop off point. There's a tiger tank there from the back of the bulge. He wants a picture of me stood next to it. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll try and do that, and then do the rest. So that's why I'm in Germany a little bit faster than planned. I came through Switzerland. Didn't like Switzerland. They do not want camper vans there. Every lay-by and park up has got a sign saying no camper vans, no camping. Ended up parking in a motorway. I tried to find a campsite, went to a campsite, got stuck in the snow. The campsite was shut. Everyone else I tried was shut. Lay-bys don't want you. So no, I didn't enjoy Switzerland. Fantastic drive, but I had to do it too fast. I wanted to spend a couple of days there and soak it in a bit, but got overtaken by several Aston Martins and Bentleys. Yeah. Anyway, this is where I am, and that's where I'm going. A bit about the trip. I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't do it again. I would go back to the Balkans if I was going somewhere, or meeting people, or going with somebody. But yeah, I got some real disappointments about the Bulkens. I'll tell you about them in a bit. What would I do different? I would have spent more time on Bill before I went, and I would have spent... Somebody gave me a tip once about when you do an expedition or a trip. Just before you go, lay all your kit out on the on your bed, then take half the kit and twice the money. I've struggled with money, and I've still got kit in Bill that I've not used, so the charity shops will be getting a hit when I get back. And I've got some stuff I'm going to try and get rid of before then. If I can find somewhere to dump some metal work. Just pouring my coffee, sorry. Yeah, definitely more work on Bill. Definitely too tight a budget. I met some lovely people. I mean, everyone I met was really nice. The only grumpy people I ever met is in Northern Europe, and I met one of them in Switzerland, again. Can't park here, can't go down that road, and no, it's not a parking place. Don't park for a night, but anyway, I didn't stay there. Did a bit of bird watching for half an hour and drove off. Just made a point of being there for a while, making sure he saw me with my binoculars. So anyway, bit of daring do, eh? I'm going to tell you a bit about my Falklands adventure. I went down in '82 after the war. I was actually on my detachment commander's course for part of the war. So by the time it was over, I was all gung-ho, trained up. I can now change stepwell marking time. A skill that I'd never needed before and have never needed since. I probably couldn't do it anymore anyway. But anyway, I got taught how to change stepwells marking time. And a few other things. So, as the war ended, it was time to clear up and set up a proper base down there. And I went down, I actually left Germany on the 8th of August, my son's birthday. Went to the UK, got messed around there for a couple of weeks, and then we got flown out to Ascension on VC-10s. You normally smoke on a VC-10 back then, but because they were carrying ammunition and ordnance in the passenger area, we couldn't smoke. Landed at Dakar. Everybody got off the aeroplane, went around the back. They're refueling the aeroplane. We're all chain smoking. And then back on the plane, flew out to Ascension, get to Ascension, a little bit jet lagged, a little bit confused. Strange place, Ascension. It looks like a badly built train set plonked on an island. It was actually got a very long runway because it was the Americans extended it. And the Americans were just on the verge of turning it into a left-hand drive country until the Falklands kicked off and we all turned up. So it was a shuttle reserve runway, but I don't think I ever used it. So we anyway, we get off the plane. We're told light kit, battle order, and weapons, which is we used to call it webbing, straps and little pouches on the back and ammunition stuff like pouches. Didn't have any ammunition. Getting sticks of 12, rows of 12. And I'm thinking, helicopters. We're 5,000 miles from the Falklands. A helicopter ain't going to make it. We ain't got helicopters to do 5,000 miles. It's a little bit of a panic there. But anyway, we got on the helicopters. It was just like you imagine it. Rows of helicopters coming in. Wessex and Sea Kings. 12 on. Off it goes, someone with an underslung load, out to the Norland, the ship, an North Sea ferry that had been commandeered from the war. It had just brought the paratroopers back up. We all got on. 10 days at sea. Didn't see another ship. Used to go every day with my binos looking for another ship. Never saw anything, not even smoke on the horizon. It turns out we were being shadowed by a hunter-killer submarine, I found out years later. And everyone was, the Maritimes were all told, stay away, don't get in visual contact. The submarine will hunt and kill you. So that's why I never saw another ship. But 10 days at sea, and helicopters and boats onto the Falklands. We were actually accommodated on another, the Trangie. Is it Trangie? Trangiera. It was a commandeered ferry from New Zealand. It had a sister ship that went to Turtle between North and South Island in New Zealand, which is not encouraging. But because of the weather, sometimes we couldn't get off the boat during the day to go and do the work. So in the end, we ended up sleeping in tents on the airfield. And my role with a couple of guys with me, we were setting up the comms for, whilst they built a temporary runway, AM2 matting, like a Lego runway, borrowed off the Americans, and we set up the comms for, there was Harriers there, and we were getting ready for the first Phantoms, and I was there when the first Phantoms arrived, flown down from the UK. They refueled them, armed them, changed the crews, took off again, and went and buzzed Buenos Aires. You can come back any time, guys. We've got Phantoms here now. I think there was 4 there by the time I left. And then, of course, the Harriers were still there. We used to have detachment names. There was Fandet for the Phantoms, and there was Hardet for the Harriers, and there was Rapier Det, because they couldn't use the abbreviation, because we had Rapier missiles defending us, and there was all sorts of other debts. So that was my trip to the Falklands, and then flew back just for Christmas, December. It's when you have Christmas, isn't it? 72 hours from Falklands back to Gütersloh in Germany, RAF Gütersloh, then train down from there via Ascension, Africa again, and RAF Lynham. 72 hours, 48 of them in the air. You know in the movies where you see them in the back of the plane chatting, back of the military plane chatting? Doesn't happen. You're actually given air defenders as you get onto the plane, and you can't hear nothing. You just sit there numb for hours on end. Got refueled a couple of times on the way up, in-flight refueling. Tell you about that another time. Interesting experience. And I'll tell you about the mouldy cow's head as well. So that was my Falklands adventure. There was a medal for the Falklands. If you see a guy with a ribbon, he was there but not in combat. If he's got a rosette in it, he was in combat. But the medal finished in July or August. When I got down there, it was almost September, if not September. So we weren't entitled to the medal. It's fine. But then they extended the medal because we had casualties. We were still dealing with a lot of ordnance. There was a lot of ordnance flying around, especially on the Canache, on the road out to the airport. Mines and there was a few Gurkha engineers killed clearing mines, and a few others as well. So they extended the medal. But the army, I went down there as a soldier. They flew me down there, fed me while I was there, kept me warm and reasonably dry and reasonably warm, flew me all the way back. So I've got to be on a list somewhere, but I've got to apply for my medal. I haven't. I'm thinking that's just bureaucracy for the sake of bureaucracy. I know I went. My children know I went. But anyway, that was the Falklands. That was part of it. I'll tell you some more about that another time. I'm going to read you a poem now. I've got to do my technical thing. I've got to press that button. There. This is Bulkens. I didn't broadcast this while I was down there because it's not lovely. I was really disappointed by what I saw. But I'm going to tell you, you'll see this in this poem. The Bulkens. I know it's not just you. We all have our problems, true. Sorry, but yours is so much worse. Such a deep curse. Place of beauty destroyed by wicked cruelty. Deep snow hides rubbish below, so you put more on top to more ruin. Nice spot to show you care not. Can't understand people's hate for their land, or is it they just don't understand? What they do by their hand is so wrong, such a problem they pass on. Hope good people love them, because Mother Earth will return this curse. There's more. Why is it doing that? Pass on the inside, pass on the out, passed on bad bend. If they could, they would pass under without second look. It's hard to stay in lane with espresso to drain and phone conversation maintain when you've got litter to deliver to beautiful river. Hope others not hurt, as force power you think is the speed you squirt. Then abandon, not park, to laugh and show you care not. Not for fun, just to make believe you're the important one. What will happen? Do you think your God will sort it? Or can I report it? Can I tell you my no? Your land will get sick, your animals will die, your food will be full of the plastic you spill. When your children won't grow, Mother Earth will know. It's because of the poison you do sow. As long as sky shines, Mother Earth will re-find. In many trips around the sun, new race will be sprung. And they will know how we killed our own young, 'cause still will be trace of our plastic waste. The Bulkens. It was just the bad driving, the rubbish. The people, everyone I met was really nice, especially if they were taking money from you. But yeah, I can't understand it. So, another subject, another poem, and then I'll wrap it up for today. Forgiveness, forgetness, moving on, staying strong. We all have our fears, a past that can bring tears. There are people that seem to take pleasure in crushing your inner steeple. They build their own on the pain that they try to you loan. You know theirs will fall because foundations poor. Foundations poor. They really know nothing at all. Keep strong. Don't let them make you poor. That was inspired by a post by somebody. I sent it to them. Having a bit of a bad time or a bit of hassle. So I'm off to Frankfurt. I'll go through Stuttgart tomorrow. Get up to Frankfurt. There's a park up near the airport. I'll get there Wednesday. Pick them up Thursday afternoon. And then head west. Hope to be back in the UK next weekend, and I'll do another one next weekend. And I'm going to title this one NNN 19, because I've been to 19 different countries, some twice, but I've been to 19 different countries. I've been away for 19 weeks, and this is my 19th recording. So it's NNN 19. Stay safe, guys. I did get some storm. I was going to record this outside today and have a view of the car park, but it started raining, so I moved everything inside. It stopped raining. That's life. Hope the stores don't batter you too much, and I need you all to put your fires on. I want you all to have a good outside burn, get your heaters going and everything. I want you to raise the ambient temperature of the country by at least 10 degrees by the time I get back at the end of the week. And I'm definitely going somewhere hot next winter and staying there. Yeah, Morocco, Portugal. Go and see some of the good people down there. Marty and the weird ones in the van. Yeah. And if you want to find out about who I'm picking up, her YouTube is Freebird UK Van Life. And I'm sure she'll tell you about me after I've dropped her off on Saturday or whenever. But I've been promised a bath at the delivery point and a vegan meal. So and it allows me to do the tunnel because she's going to split the cost rather than mess around on the ferry for 4 hours with the dogs. I've always wanted to do the tunnel, so we're going to do the tunnel hopefully. So I'll be back in the UK next week. I'll do a broadcast when I'm back, and then I'll probably just start doing a monthly, telling you stories of daring do and van life and stuff. Hope keep you interested. Stay safe. Don't let the weather get you down. Soon be spring. Soon be the equinox. Stonehenge. Yeah. Happy travels, folks.